One of the reasons that I want you to get so visible is so that people know who you are and know that you are the expert, the go to expert in your niche, right? Or in your industry. And so, one of the ways that we can position ourselves and have that authority is by actually showing up on video. Because at the end of the day, if you've scrolled through Facebook, if you scrolled through TikTok, if you scrolled through LinkedIn, whatever platform, the majority of people will not be on video. The majority are consumers of video content. They are not actually getting on video. So if you have been behind and you have not been getting on video, this is your opportunity to do so. But I want to talk a little bit about how do we take and position ourselves? How do we come out as the expert? Because at the, we're always like, there's somebody that already taught this, there's somebody that's already done this. That's okay. We're not worried about that. We're not going to copy. We're not going to steal. We're not going to take away what anyone else has been doing, right? However, you as the expert in your industry, you are learning, right? And maybe you learn something and you implement it. Or maybe you test something and you find out this amazing case study, right? This can happen in any industry, right? Because as an industry expert, we should be testing constantly. That is not just social media. That is not just things that have like analytics, right? If you are in health and fitness, you should be testing. Let's see, turmeric does all these amazing things, but I've never actually taken it on a regular basis to see how it makes me feel. Do I get more energy? Do I fight off more things? All of these things. So I don't know what all turmeric does, by the way, but I'm just throwing that out there as an example because I just bought this like turmeric drink and it just made me think of it. But you as the expert in health and wellness or whatever your expertise is, you can test that and see what that does to your body over 30 days, right? I've been testing things on social media for the past 30 days. And then I started a new set of testing this week. And I'm trying to see what is working. And I'm trying to see what the differences is. I was trying to see why am I shown on Facebook all of this stuff on my newsfeed, right? That Facebook creates for me and they think this is the content I want to see versus letting me see things in a chronological order. I'm a chronological order girl. I want to see recent. That's what I want to see. And if they would let me set it up like that all the time and I didn't have to go push an extra button to do it, I would do it all day long. However, here's what I noticed. The reason there are things not in my newsfeed is because it's content that's being shared. They're consumers of content sharing other people's content and they're not creating their own. That's the number one thing that I'm noticing. That's why their content isn't in my newsfeed with everybody else's, right? I have figured this out in just a few days of testing going to the most recent feed, right? And so now I'm going to create case studies and try to see if I can get some of these people from my most recent feed, right, to my actual newsfeed. I'm going to try if I can get people to pay more attention to me, right, to let me help them, right, by commenting on the most recent because I never see their content in my normal newsfeed. And so this is something I'm testing, right? And I'm already seeing results. I literally just saw a result today from somebody's content that I commented on. They said, I went and checked you out, found your website, and joined your group. Boom, it's already working, right? So whatever it is that you do and whatever it is that you're an expert in, how can you test? How can you help position yourself even more as being that expert? Again, anything you do, you can test something. If you're telling people that exercise and healthy eating works, you should be the proof that the product works, right? You should have a formula that you use and a journey that you take people through that you've went through yourself to get results. It doesn't mean that your way is the only way, just like my way for social media marketing is not the only way. However, when I realize that things are working, I'm going to share. When I realize that there is a hack that can get you around from taking a TikTok from Snaptik.app and downloading it and uploading it to Instagram, I'm going to share it, right? Instagram's algorithm is trying to not let you do that. But I found a workaround and I shared it with my inner circle earlier today, right? So when we test things and we can figure things out, we position ourselves as the expert. We position ourselves as the go-to person. It's not just about learning what other people do. and implementing it than teaching it. It's also about testing things yourself. Because if you are an expert, you're willing to test out your own theories. You're willing to test out things that nobody's tested out yet, right? That makes you the authority. That makes you the go-to person. And that makes you the person that people want to listen to because you figured it out. For example, when I did 100s of lives in July of 2020, I found out that Facebook loves consistency. A lot of people will try to go live for a couple times and they're like, this doesn't work, right? I'm not getting the engagement. However, they like a 30-day. They like you to be consistent for 30 days before they start pouring results back into you, right? Before they start changing the algorithm so that the algorithm sees your content more. I figured that out in July of 2020 because week 1, 4% of people were not my followers saw my video content. Week 2, 9% that were not my followers saw my video content. Week 3, 14% of non-followers saw my video content. Week 4, after I'd proven to them that I wasn't going away and I wasn't going to stop doing this, 57.7%. It jumped from 14 to 57.7% because I was willing to be consistent. I was willing to test it out and I was willing to get rewarded for it, right? So think about in your industry, what can you test? What can you share? What can you do research on? What case study can you create from what you teach your audience? How can you help that? How can you use that to position you as the expert, as the go-to leader in your industry? Don't teach stuff that you haven't implemented. Don't teach stuff that you haven't tried out. Test it. Try it out. I tell my audience all the time, I'm telling you this is what's working for me, but try it for yourself. My audience is loving it. My audience is receptive to this, but you have a different audience and yours may not be. But test things out, try them out, and get proof, right? In social media, I get social proof, right? I have analytics. Maybe you go get blood work before you change your diet, right? Maybe you do a journal and you talk about your energy levels, right? You do these things, you document the process, and then you are even more able to position yourself as that expert and the authority because the data is there. Data is everything. Data helps you. Data positions you. Data helps you sell what you do to your audience. I hope this helps you. Drop in the comments if you have any questions about this, but I think it's really vital to always be testing, to always be doing things that position us, because when we position ourselves as the expert and the authority, we are the go-to leader that people think of when it is time to do the thing that they want to do, right? When they need that support, they're going to come to you. So how can you position yourself today? How can you position yourself in your business and your industry and share that with your audience?